Sitting here looking at all the top videos that I got. What are my #1 videos from SLV Revolutions? I got one video that got 907 views. I got another one that got 336 views. These are the top 10 videos of SLV Revolution. Starting out with number 10 on Michael Landon's final Johnny Carson show. The Katie Halper Nomiki Konst argument. Emma Vigilant says Jimmy Dore is sexist. Sam Cedar hates Jimmy Dore, a psychological or a pathological study. Jimmy Dore and Aaron Mate on TYT's hatred of Aaron Mate. Fuck you, Joe Biden. Fuck you, South Carolina. 491 views. 424, 422, 368, 341, 336. Now, the top 4 videos that SLV Revolutions has. Number 4, R.I.P. Dalton Lee Buckholes, 527 views. 527 views. Amendment 77, Vote Yes, Colorado, 737 views. 739 views. And then info on a Delta County officer involved shooting, 893 views. And then Jimmy Dore destroys Cenk Uygur's misinformation campaign, #Force to Vote, 907 views. And that video, I'm just listening to Jimmy Dore. I don't say a goddamn thing. So I just listened, and you got the audio. You all love the drama, right? You love your celebrities. You love your celebrities. You love your Sam Cedars and your Aaron Mates and your Emma Vigilants and your Halpers and Nomiki and Michael Landons and your Johnny Carsons. Now, the ones that aren't about celebrities, fuck you, Joe Biden, that's kind of, okay, that's a little celebrity, so that's, okay, what, Amendment 77, so there's a particular issue that I had a shit ton of information about something that Colorado's about to vote for. That's why I got a bunch of views for Amendment 77. It was a controversial issue. I took a stand on it. I took a stand on all the issues, but that one was one that some reason took off. Dalton Lee Buckholes, I don't know why. I've done other police brutality videos, but for apparently, you know, that one got clicks, a whole bunch of clicks, and then the Delta County officer, that was Paige Pierce. So this, I've done other ones about Dalton Lee Buckholes and Paige Pierce, ones that I thought were like really good, and they didn't get as much views. So I don't know why, you know, this one got 900 views, this one got 500 views. But this kind of tells me what the people want, right? What do people want? Look, Pink Floyd's Roger Waters gaining some traction. Andrew Yang, yes on Force to Vote. Sam Cedar says that Jimmy Dore's the Boogaloo Boys. Ken Tulsi Gabbard. Nico House on the Tim Black. Celebrities. Celebrities. Non-stop celebrity bullshit. So, looking at all this, where do I go forward? I don't know. I think it's awesome, actually, that I would love to make money at doing this, but I think it's awesome that I get to speak my fucking mind and I'm not beholden. I don't have to chase that dragon of getting that cash or getting, you know, a shit ton of fucking views after everything. I mean, look at Colbert. He's like is he even the same fucking person that he used to be? And when it comes down to being a YouTuber, I don't want to be a progressive fucking voice douchebag, you know. I think that the internal, you know, squabbles or whatever are interesting and shit. But I'd rather be an R.M. Brown just fucking shitting on the right-wingers all day long. Have great internet, have that software where you got the chat comments that's, you know, going up on the side. Video in video so I can, like, have a little, you know, picture of me on the corner while I'm looking at a video or looking at websites. That'd be nice. I can make comments while I show you web pages or some video or some audio clip and make it a nice visual splendor. But I'm pretty much convinced America, humanity, Homo sapiens, you're awful. You're awful. You'll watch the bloodshed. You'll listen to the drama. You'll pretend that you don't want to see, you know, the bloodshed, but you click on it. I think you just don't want to give a shit. I think ultimately you just don't give a damn. You just don't give a damn. You don't care about Israel attacking Syria. You don't give a shit about progressives gaining power. You don't care about democracy. It's ironic that America spreads democracy by gun all around the world, but I don't know anybody else in America who is mad about Virginia's primary elections being at 10% turnout or less. We don't have instant runoff voting. We don't actually have true blue democracy. Am I the only one that gives a shit about that? The president of Chad was assassinated. What? The president of some country in Africa? What? You don't give a shit about Africa? You don't give a shit, you don't give a shit about the African people? If you don't give a shit about the people of Africa, you shouldn't be spreading fucking democracy. You don't even care about people. You care about celebrities. You care about your Crystal and your Sagars, but you don't care about your Pedro Castillo. You don't care about freedom and democracy. You don't care about Abel Murrieta, Pedro Castillo, Melanie Stansberry. You give a shit about the Kardashians. That's who, what, Kardashian? You know who that, right? You can recognize. You have an opinion. They said something. You don't care about the 95 democracy, the 95 martyrs of democracy in Mexico. And you didn't give a shit about J.C. Dugard. J.C. Dugard, she was just a couple years older than me. So I don't know why you shitheads are unhappy about Melanie Stansberry, progressive, entering Congress. I don't know why any of you shitheads don't give a flying fuck about the 96 men and women, Mexican men and women who gave their lives, who were brave enough to participate in a democracy. You pieces of shit, gringo motherfuckers, you don't even vote, let alone run for office. You fucking goddamn lazy mother. You're going to lose your Democratic Republic. What, you're going to, what, just go along with the Fuhrer? You know who would be okay with the Fuhrer? It was okay if you champion the Fuhrer on. So I don't know why you don't give a shit about the 96 martyrs of democracy in Mexico who lost their lives for democracy. And I hope it bothers you shitheads that I do care. I hope it bothers you shitheads that I do care that Pedro Castillo is being elected or may be taken away. But he's going to get elected president if he hasn't already been elected president. I'm happy about Pedro Castillo being elected president. I hope that fucking bothers you. I hope it bothers you that I'm happy that Melanie Stansberry, a progressive, actually got into Congress. You low-life pieces of shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Imagine if a person who actually needed to be validated was validated. Could you imagine if J.C. Dugard went up to you and, said, hey, all I need is this tiny little thing, and then you would have done the thing, and then you would have made her life completely better? Could you imagine actually validating a J.C. Dugard? I believe in democracy because I'm not a rich, wealthy piece of shit. I'm not a plutocrat. I'm not an oligarch. If you're not a plutocrat or an oligarch and you're opposed to democracy, so you're a peasant and you're opposed to democracy, you are a stupid piece of shit. You are fucking dumb as fuck. I grew up in a fascist authoritarian household. Nobody else's thoughts or opinions mattered. It wasn't a family who cared about each other. It was a cult of one person. It was a cult of the dictator, cult of the tyrant. Only care about one person. Only care about... How easy would it have been to get 7 folks who love and care about each other to make decisions as a group? How hard would that have been to get democracy in your household? Because of the violence and abuse that I had to endure when I was younger, I believe in democracy. I believe in democracy for my community, for my household, because I'm an American. My progeny will grow up in a free and democratic environment. Their rights will be respected. I'll make sure they'll have a lawyer, doctor, cops, judges. They'll have phone numbers to people. I'm here to empower and protect my children, not destroy them at every single turn. Not destroy them at every single turn. I remember there was one moment in Williamstown, Kentucky, when maybe we all could have been okay. Maybe we all could have been just fine and dandy, but that would have required one motherfucking person in this world. One person who actually believed that abuse is wrong, to say that abuse is wrong. But that turned out to be one demand that was way too fucking tough. That one person, no, they're so smart and skeptical. So it seemed to me that everybody my abuser had surrounded themselves with had said that child abuse is just fine and dandy and right and proper and fine, even though it's illegal as shit. I know people that lost their kids for the same shit that was done to me. So I went to Williamstown, to Women's Services, thinking that the women there would be against, abuse. Thinking they would be against child abuse too. They're government officials. And therefore, my abuser would have at least got one person in this world to at least hear about how child abuse is wrong. They surrounded themselves with a bunch of fucking spare the rod, spoil the child, bunch of psycho motherfuckers. And maybe if they would have heard one other person say that child abuse is wrong, maybe they would have thought differently. See the error of their ways. Feel bad about the violence. Maybe actually have a heartbeat. Maybe actually give a goddamn fuck. Maybe actually give a damn. But it didn't work out that way. It's just so crazy how a tiny little fucking request. Hey, you believe this or that? Can you say what you believe? No? No, you can't say it. Why? It didn't work out the way I wanted. A tiny little fucking request. So what happened? The abuser starts the conversation, and immediately the government official is best friends with the abuser, and then I'm just chopped liver. I'm off to the fucking side. Fuck me. The government official immediately becomes best friends with him, talks about me like I'm not even in the fucking room, talk about rude. It sounded rude, sexist. I don't know what the fuck that lady's problem was. But I wasn't even asked. I'm the one that called for the meeting. Nobody even said, hey, why'd you call for this meeting? I never even, I wasn't asked about what I wanted, so I never even asked them their thoughts about child abuse. Okay. Immediately you're just going to say, fuck you. That moment in Williamstown just reminded me of an earlier incident when my abuser and her sister, two grown-ass shitheads, two grown-ass bullies, came in and twisted the fuck out of a 10-year-old's arm. They don't love or care about anybody or anything. Two grown-ass psychopaths. And instead of standing up for justice, they stood tall for abusing children. And it's always been that way. They're still pieces of shit. Had they stood up for, had they stood up against child abuse, right, that just determines the policy forever and ever. They stood strong for child abuse. If they would have stood strong against child abuse, it would have stopped. And it would have been fucking nice. Jesus Christ, could you imagine living in America where people ain't a bunch of violent fucking criminal low-life pieces of shit? Could you imagine living in America where, you're J.C. Dugard and you're not getting raped over and over again by Philip and Nancy Garrido? Can you imagine a world? If J.C. Dugard would have went up to you and said, hey, can you say that this is wrong? Would you have been like, no, I don't think I can say that. It's too hard for you to say. Why? What if you would have said that that's wrong and that would have changed everything? They stood tall for child abuse. It's their policy then, it's their policy today. They don't feel the least bit bad about anything they've ever done. So my abuser immediately destroyed this relationship. It'd been nice to have one person that just says, hey, child abuse is wrong. But that relationship is destroyed. Now this piece of shit's an asshole. The new person never even wondered why I was there in the first place. I'm the one that called the meeting. What are you, a sexist oppressor? What the fuck is the matter with you? But I've seen a grown-ass woman that looked just like you, who twisted a child's arm and didn't give a fuck. So yeah, I needed, at that moment I needed just one person in this entire godforsaken fucking planet to say that child abuse was wrong. Is it that hard to stand up to a white woman? I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. People are such dog shit. My heart bleeds for millions, and yet the government official could even say, yeah, child abuse is wrong, in spite of them actually believing it. They're immediately manipulated by the abuser, and instead of fixing everything, it all could have been fixed, but instead meanness, disrespect, humiliation. And maybe it wouldn't have worked, but what if it would have? Just one person saying, hey, no, you love your children. You don't hurt your children, you protect your children. Do you have a difference between abuse and discipline? Do you have a fucking distinction? It's all abuse to you, right? You're just a violent piece of shit that gets their aggression out on your own children. You love getting your aggression out on your own fucking kids. That's the side that government official was on. That's the side that government official was on. So I don't know why something so goddamn tiny was so fucking hard for grown-ass adults to do. It could have fixed everything. It could have fixed everything. But instead of, everybody getting along and then us singing Kumbaya, Instead, the abuser never came to the error of their ways. They were validated yet once again for their wickedness. They couldn't say a tiny little, they thought child abuse was wrong, the government official did, but they couldn't say it because they were in front of the abuser. You can't, say child abuse is wrong in front of the abuser. And this is 10, 12 years ago, but this is court and a bunch of other shit, and I'm trying to be vague, but I'm trying to say there's abusers everywhere. There's abusers, there's criminals, there's sadistic people all around, and so ultimately the school of life teaches us that we got to reassure each other that we're not going to hurt one another. We have to reassure each other. I know you guys are shitheads. I know you guys are terrible fucking shitheads. And so if you have emotional intelligence, you don't go up to a J.C. Dugard and start talking a bunch of shit. You don't go up to J.C. Dugard and laugh that she got fucking raped and make fun of her. You don't, if J.C. Dugard needs to be fucking validated, you validate J.C. Dugard. So when I think about J.C. Dugard for 30 years, she's getting abused by Philip and Nancy Garrido. Abused. She's getting raped. She's going to father 2 of Philip's children. For 30 years, she gets abused by Philip and Nancy. What did you sons of bitches do? None of you motherfuckers did shit. You ignored it. You went on. You scapegoated it. You rationalized it. And then when I think about the nasty shit Philip Garrido would say to J.C. Dugard while he's, oppressing her, trapping her, raping her, gives me the creeps. An oppressor, sadist, abuser, talking to you, telling you that, trying to talk logically to you, that you deserve this or that. It makes you think of her kitten. She wanted a kitten. She got a kitten. And then, he wouldn't let her keep the kitten. Why? Because it wasn't fit. The kitten couldn't live in the shack. It wasn't fit. The living conditions wasn't fit for that kitten. But it was okay for a human being? Jesus Christ, could you imagine being J.C. Dugard and having to listen to this stupid shit? Oh, these living conditions aren't good enough for me to have a fucking buddy, a little friend, but it's okay for me? Oh, man, I could just imagine, not only is it the fucking crimes and it's the oppression, it's the nastiness, it's the fucking words, it's how Philip Garrido will look right into J.C. Dugard's eyes and pretend to give a shit when he doesn't give a fuck at all. So I can't stand you motherfucking abusers. I can't stand you fascist, racist, criminal, shithead motherfuckers. You unlawful, unethical, immoral, you criminal motherfuckers. You don't have any empathy. You're overly selfish. You're sadistic. For decades, J.C. Dugard was going to get raped for decades. Where the fuck were you guys? Huh? Nancy just watched. Nancy! What the fuck? I wonder if there was a moment when J.C. could have, told Nancy, hey, this ain't right. This ain't right. Can you say something about it? Maybe there was a moment when it seemed like her abusers was just an inch away from becoming human. I wonder if J.C. Dugard ever had a moment like that. They were just an inch away from becoming a human being. Last but not least, I must say that it's quite satisfying that the governor of Kentucky today, Andy Beshear, got there because he was an attorney general beforehand, and one of the few planks to his platform, he only had like 3 or 4 issues, and one of the few planks to his platform, ending child abuse. Ending child abuse. So if you grow up in the wrong household, right, you get raped and then you have 2 kids by Philip, and now what? Now what? You get abused and now you got to, figure out the rest of you, so you get nothing else, right? You get abused, you get a bunch of pain. But if you grow, talked down to by shitheads, you get abused, talked down to by shitheads who can't even love themselves, let alone somebody else. And then you become addicted to pine cones because when you were being kidnapped, it was the last thing that you grabbed onto. It was something very specific to your trauma, which is what happened to J.C. Dugard. That's what happens if you grew up in the right house. If you grew up in the wrong household, if you grew up in the right household, if you grew up in a loving household where your father was a governor of Kentucky, and you grew up in a loving household that believed that child abuse is wrong, that you are to be lawful people, to be an attorney general. You have to be a lawful person to be attorney general or governor. It's all about laws. So if you grow up in a loving household and just go out and say child abuse is wrong, you get elected attorney general and governor. You get elected attorney general and governor. Instead of fighting and screaming and kicking and trying to get a bunch of fucking psycho motherfuckers that probably have no heartbeat to begin with to give a shit. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe Brashears, will you adopt me? Anyways, I just had some shit on my mind, and it's just fucking bullshit. It's bullshit that if somebody had to do a tiny little fucking thing, they couldn't fucking do it because you're a sexist piece of shit, huh? Because you're a sexist piece of shit. You can't just say murder is wrong. You can't just say something you already agree with. You can't just... It'd be like somebody coming up to me and saying, hey, Jonathan, you like democracy, right? Democracy's your thing. You're big on democracy, right? And then I say, I don't know. And then immediately look at the other person that you're arguing with and just become best friends with him because fuck you. If I'm opposed to democracy and you're coming up shouting, hey, you believe in democracy, right? You believe in... Yeah, motherfucker, I believe in democracy. I believe in democracy. That's easy. You want me to say anything else I fucking believe? Is there anything else that you've already... You know what I believe? Antifa. I'm anti-fascist. You want me to say that? If there's anything that you know that I believe and you need that to validate you or maybe to make your family situation better, you're goddamn right I'll fucking say it. Yeah, you're goddamn right I'll say it. Yeah, I'm for democracy. I'm for democracy. Anyways, let's talk about Iran's elections next. I'm just going to keep on making videos that I like and I enjoy. You all like the drama. You all like the celebrity fucking bullshit. You all been steering me wrong my entire fucking life. And, yeah, I mean, all I needed, you know, for somebody to get to care a little bit, and it seems like because I want people to care a little bit, they'll just be fucking terrible. Can you care a little bit? What? Never! Okay. Sorry, motherfucker. Sorry. Jesus fucking Christ. How about this? Can you be pieces of shit for the rest of your fucking life? Can you be awful shithead homo sapien motherfuckers? That I expect. That I expect. Whew. So I feel about 10 pounds lighter. Now let's talk about Iran's elections. Iran has an election. Is it a Syria election? Is it a Virginia election? Is it a Peru election? You want to sit there and pretend like what? You care about democracy? Do you care about democracy? I'm not for sure if you do or not. I don't think you do. And so I'm just going to keep on talking about issues that I give a shit about, and I'm going to continue to be happy when I see progress happening. You motherfuckers are happy with what? Being a fucking soulless, driftless, nobody, nothing, not doing nothing for nobody. You're happy with that? That's not good enough for me.